it's never one thing that does you in, but 1,000 little things. Okay, so you may scroll on your phone for 5 to 15 minutes here, and that may be a pattern for you may do that 5, 6 times out of the day. It adds up by itself. It doesn't seem like much. Those little phone calls, those checking the text, checking your notifications, watching a little television here, 30 minutes of it. I've done this math before, but I would just like to put things into perspective. Is that if you do 2 hours of anything in a day, that would add up to um, 30 days out of the month. Sorry, 30 days out of the year. So a month out of the year is what I was getting at. So I make this video to not only bring this to your attention, but to give you some possible solutions. I think I got about two or three. And the first thing is push it towards the end of the day. Some of the things that aren't as productive that way, even if you are leaving some meat on the bone, you got some important things out of the way. Um, or I meant even if your day isn't structured the way that you would want it to be, if you don't like structure, which is okay, you can definitely get by without structure, but uh, a great compromise is just to put television towards the end of the day. Um, your social media use, texting, being on the phone. Um, I remember when I was trying to write my first book, The Roots of Metanoia, I took the TV out of my room. I think it started as, okay, towards the end of the day, I watched television. And then I just took the TV out completely. And, that kind of got me in the mindset of not really wanting to watch TV too much anyway. Because then I got so used to writing when I would be uh, watching TV or reading or doing some other things. You know, maybe even listening to music, which is something that if you find to not be very much productive, you put towards the end of the day. Another thing is that you make blocks for certain times. I mean, for certain things. So instead of pushing it towards the end of the day, maybe you make this a designated break area, or a little window that you can throw in there as some type of reward. And the final thing, I don't know if this was a thing for you when you were in middle school or high school, but for me, it was called A Day, B Day. Okay, so A Day, I'd probably have English, and B Day, I'd have math. Now, honestly, I can't remember if that's exactly how it went. If maybe I had English every day. I'm not sure, but the concept is on A Day you have certain classes, B Day you have another group of classes. So it wasn't the same, and so you can start grouping up the things that you want to do that way, which is also good for productivity, not necessarily limited to those the things that will kill you in bunches. So those are a couple of things that come to mind, but I really want to stress the importance of paying attention to those little things that take up 5 minutes of your time throughout the day, and see how it adds up. If you feel like towards the end of the day you aren't getting a lot done, or it just seems like a lot of time went by, pay attention to those little tiny cuts, and resolve to um, eradicate that issue, because time does go by extremely fast, and it's easy to get caught up in these little 2 minute, 5 minute tasks that don't really add value to your day, or to the quality of your life. So I hope that helps. Thanks.